Hi, welcome to week 5, and we have a surprise for you this week. So you probably know from the description, but this is our pick and mix week. So we want to give you an opportunity to create your own YoFit practice for yourself. It's not suggested really to do this as your first ever practice because the hit is going to be all together and the strength is all together, and it's better to have learned them through the other weeks. So if you are starting afresh, start with week 1 or week 2 and just see how that goes for you, and work with the original level, not the YoFit Power level. I am going to break this down though, because you might be able to do the yoga practices as a beginner, and that's fine. So I'll give you different variations of it, but if you're looking for the whole YoFit experience, do one of the other classes. For the rest of you, we've broken it down now, so I'm going to give you the Sun Salutation now here in this video. And then in other videos, I'll be giving you the Chandra and then the yoga postures on their own, with lots of variations for you to explore. Okay, so let us begin with the Sun Salutation. I'm going to start with the beginner's version of the Sun Salute. So we bring ourselves onto our mat, working towards the front of our mat. And we're going to sit down into our chair pose. So sitting deeply into your chair, your feet are hip width apart. You're trying to work your front ribs in, and you're breathing in and out of the nostrils. So we're doing this really slow to begin. And then from here, we're going to keep the knees bent, begin to reach forward a little further to take your belly onto your thighs. Once your bellies are on your thighs, then you're going to bring your chest to your knees and then slowly reach your hands to the ground. So the knees stay bent to start. Then begin to work the weight forward towards your toes, allow the head to drop, and you can begin to possibly straighten the legs, but keeping that connection between belly and thighs. So we're trying to stretch out the back first. Take your time, you don't need to stretch into the hamstrings at all. You're taking your time to get length between your sit bones and the top of the pelvis. Allow the head to drop, feel the weight of the head, encouraging the belly closer to the thighs, the chest closer to the knees. 2 more breaths here. And then a strong old bend in the knees, pull the armpits back and begin to look forward. Try to relax your face as you do this. Now we're going to place the hands on the mat, you're looking down, and kick the right foot back behind you. So you're transferring your weight over onto your left foot, kicking the right foot back behind and hovering there. And just feel what it's like to transfer from 2 feet to 1. Breathe. Then ever so slowly, we're going to keep a strong bend through the left knee, grip with the right toes, take the right knee to the ground and pause there. So you're in a lunge position. Well done. Then we're going to take the right hand and keep it pressed down into the ground. Take your left fingertips to your left shoulder and slowly begin to twist belly, chest and shoulders to the left. See how that goes? And then lifting the left fingers up towards the ceiling. Make sure that you're not squashing either side of the neck. Breathe. Find the twist through the belly, chest and the shoulders. Then bending the top elbow, fingertips to shoulder, move the head to look down, move the elbow, place the hand on the mat, and then from here, as a beginner's version to start, we're going to step the left foot back towards the right. So we're on our knees. We're going to take a little transition here and just work through the spine, working through, we call this one happy cat, so pulling the armpits back, the shoulders out of your ears, your sit bones up towards the ceiling, your toes are gripped onto the mat, and then pushing strongly into your hands, come into angry cat, look into your belly. Trying that again, armpits back, shoulders back, moving the head to look forward, possibly up towards the ceiling, sit bones up, and again, rounding the spine. One more time, pressing down into your hands, tail lifts, sternum moves forward, and round. And from this rounded position now, we're going to bring ourselves back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward dog position. So we're pushing strongly into our hands, raising our knees to hover, and then begin to work your hips back and working your heels down towards the ground. And then we bring our head and tuck the chin in so that we're looking towards our belly button. Pushing into your hands, begin to roll your biceps up towards the ceiling. Push strongly and stretch out through the fingers, trying to get as much mat as you can in between each finger. Breathing here. Have the sensation of wanting to lift your toes off the mat to get more of a stretch through the calf and through the heel there. You can bend the knees, of course, if it feels too much. You can work the feet wider if you need to, and continue to breathe. Now, if all of this feels like it's too much work and too much effort at the beginning of your practice, you can come forward and onto your knees and come into Bakasana, the child's pose. So knees can work out to the edges of your mat and hips come back to your heels and head down, elbows to the ground. Or you can have the knees together and the hands come behind you, head down, or you can just hang out with your elbows on the ground. And we suggest this posture at any time through our YoFit classes to rest, to recover. It's a restorative pose, so it'll give you energy again. Back to your downward dog. Breathing happily there. Well done. Now we're going to raise our heels from here and bend our knees. And we stepped back with the right foot in the beginning of this sun salutation. Now we're going to step forward with the right foot. So it's the same leg that's moved forward and back. Lower the left knee to the ground. And then we open up the front toes, those right toes. And we're just going to hang out here in a little hip opener and see how this feels. You can have a little wiggle from side to side or move forward or back or a little circle and just breathe. You might see what it could feel like to lift the back knee off the mat here. This is for beginners. Well done. Good. From here, slowly pushing into your hands, lifting your upper spine to the ceiling. Turn those right toes in, and then we're going to take a nice old step forward, stepping the back foot up towards the front foot. So raise the knee, take your time, hop a little bit, and step, kick a little bit, and step that left foot up towards the right. Your feet can come together or stay hip width apart, whatever works best. And then from here, just feel the belly resting on the thighs again, the head down. So we're back to that opening move. And then back into your chair position. And in your chair, feel your upper arms, your biceps working up to your ears. Sit right back into that chair. Feel the toes lifting a little bit. So weight is right back onto your heels and bum is back. One more breath here. Then gripping with the toes, push strongly into your heels and feel your sit bones push down to your heels as you raise your arms up towards the ceiling. Breathe in and out. And then slowly releasing the hands down. Okay, beginner's version again, leading with the left leg. So sitting into your chair pose. Forward bend. We keep that bend in the knees, belly to thighs, chest to the knees, hands to the ground. Pausing there. Feel the heaviness, the weightedness of the head dropping down. You can maybe straighten the legs a little. I'll pick up the pace a little bit. Bend the knees. Kick the left foot back behind you. Hover for a moment. Good. Your shoulders are down out of your ears. You're relaxing in your face. Feel the work through the right bum. Grip the right toes to the mat. Sorry, the left toes to the mat. That's the back foot. Lower that left knee. Ensure that the front knee and the heel are in line. You're not over lunging. Press the left hand to the ground. If it's too much with the whole palm, you come up onto the fingertips. If even that is too much, you can just twist in an upright position. So left hand to right thigh. If you feel okay, you're twisting belly, chest, and shoulders to the right, fingertips to shoulder, raising that right arm up. Pause there and breathe. Then bending the elbow, fingertips to shoulder, move the head, move the elbow, move the hand, spread the fingers wide. Raise the back knee if you can for now, so it's a variation. And then slowly, if it feels like it's too much, you lower the knee to the ground and then you step the right foot back to meet the left, or you can have both knees off the mat and you step back into upper push-ups. See how this goes? Breathing here. Well done. Taking that transition, angry cat and happy cat, moving through it. Excuse me. Forward and back. And then from here, now we're not going straight into the downward dog position or the child's pose. We're going to add a variation. So we're walking the hands forward a little bit, allowing the thighs to drop so that they are diagonal to the floor. So you're at an angle here. Your hips are moving forward of the knees. And we're going to breathe here. That might be enough. If it feels okay, maybe you're raising the knees off the mat, pulling your front ribs in and pushing your hips back towards your heels and just breathing there. Then lowering the knees to the ground, squeezing the elbows in, and just see if you can begin to slowly, slowly, slowly hover yourself down towards the mat. Release onto the toenails, and then crawling the hands forward. So this sun salutation is made specifically for this series of YoFit that we're in at the moment, this springtime series. So from here, we're going to lift up into a version of the skydiver pose. So the beginner's version is fingertips on the ground, face stays parallel to the ground, and you just lift the nose away from the mat and hover there. That's enough, no more. Breathing into the belly, feel the lower back long, not squashed, the sit bones pushing back to the heels. Press into the baby toenails. And then slowly lower the nose. Hands crawl back underneath the shoulders. Push into the hands, spreading the fingers and thumbs as wide as you can. Draw the chin in towards the collarbones and come back up onto the knees. Strong arms as you do this. And then you choose either back into child's pose or into downward dog. Looking to the belly, breathing calmly in and out. And you remember we led with the left foot before. Now we're going to continue with the left foot. We're moving the shoulders forward, knees bent. Step the left foot forward as far as it can go. So if it isn't going to go up all the way, you can hold on to it and pull it up there. Then we're opening up those left toes out to the side. And we're just going to hang out here for a minute, trying to feel, not a minute, for a moment. Breathing into it. Feel the hips opening a little bit. If you want to lower the back knee onto the mat, do. So those of you that have progressed in your YoFit practice and have been doing this for a while and are getting a little bit bored here now with all of these instructions, give yourself permission, give yourself time to really sense and feel into the movements, because often when we go into the flow, when we go quite quickly through it, we can lose that intention, we can lose the focus on really being present in it. So try to use this version to find real attention and intention in your practice. Turning in those front toes, palms onto the mat, and then from here we raise the back knee and step forward, and you can just hover a little bit, stepping mini steps in or stepping in one big step. Come into that forward fold, a little bend in the knees again, belly to the thighs, then maybe chest to the knees, and maybe working the nose in the direction of the shins, maybe working the weight forward to the toes, breathing there. In and out of the nostrils. Bending the knees now, dropping the sit bones down towards the ground, reaching the hands forward. Try to lift the biceps up in line with the ears. Sit back into the heels. Good. Grip with the toes. Push your sit bones down to the mat as you raise your arms up. Take a breath in and out. And then lower the hands down. Good. Rotate the wrists a little bit, because if you're not used to this, the wrists might be feeling a little strain. You can stretch out through them as well and flick out. Okay, we're going now into intermediate and advanced version of that sun salutation. If you've had enough from the beginner's version, you might like to rewind back and do that beginner's version, or as I go through these options, you think about the beginner version that you knew, okay, that you just practiced. All right, when we're ready, we're going to sit down into our chair pose. Front ribs are in, upper arms in line with the ears. We come to the forward fold, belly to thighs, chest to the knees, hands to the ground, head down. Bending the knees, move the head to look forward. Weight to the left foot, kick the right foot back behind you. Grip with the toes behind, knee to the mat or knee off the mat. Right hand to the ground, twisting that right shoulder, twisting the belly, twisting the chest, and lifting the left hand up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Bend the elbow, move the head to look down. Keep your attention on what you're doing and with your breath. Spread the fingers wide. Step back to upper push-up. Don't rush through this. Hold your plank position. Don't hold your breath. Breathe. Lift the bones of your neck, the bones of your spine up to the ceiling, the back of the head up towards the ceiling. The chin is in. One more breath here.
We're going to add a press up, squeezing the elbows in. You can go onto the knees if it feels like it's too much. Lower down onto your belly and chest and onto your toenails. Hands crawl forward. Take a breath in and out. If you wish, you're lifting to hover the face. If you can, lift and hover the arms. If you can, lift and hover the toes, the shins, the knees, the thighs. No strain in the back. Continue to breathe in and out. Lower everything down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Push into those hands. Lift right up into your upper push-up. Hold the position. Don't hold your breath. Come right back into downward dog. Take 2 breaths here. Working your heels to the ground. Maybe stretching out and cycling out in the legs a little bit if you like. Good. Raise the heels and bend the knees. Move the shoulders forward. Step the right foot up in between the hands. Turn those right toes out. You can hang out here or going for the press up, bending the elbows, lowering down. Feel that right hip dropping and pushing the left heel back. Push into the hands. Try not to lift the face first. Try to keep the face parallel. Turn those right toes in, and from here, we're going to step the back foot up to meet the front foot. Sit into our chair pose, all the way up to standing, and release back to our chair. Forward fold, belly to thigh, chest to knees, head down. Bending the knees, stepping the left foot back behind you, kicking it back. Keep the thigh down, the knee down, parallel to the ground. Drop those toes. Left hand to the ground, twist, belly, chest, and shoulders. Raise that right arm up. Breathe. If you wish, you can hover there just for extra strength through the right bum. Lower that left hand down, bend the elbow, twist around. Step back with the right foot, hold the plank. In the plank position, feel the bones of the neck, the bones of the back of the ribs pushing up towards the ceiling. Feel like you can rip the mat between the hands and the toes. Without moving the hands, feel like you can push the base of the wrist forward. Pull the toes back, ribs are in. Breathe. From here, down into your chaturanga press up, your tricep press up. All the way down to your belly and chest, release your toenails. Hands crawl forward. Lift up to hover in your skydiver pose. Breathe there. Try to get the upper arms and ears in line. Don't move the head to look in front. Breathe. One more breath. Lowering down, hands underneath the shoulders. Push into those hands. Lift right up into your upper push-up position. And all the way back to downward dog for 2 breaths. You can have a twist right and left. Well done. Raising the heels and bending the knees. Shoulders move forward, left foot steps forward. Turn the left toes out, press into the hands. Bend the elbows, hover for a moment. Push back with the right toes, push out with the left heel. Breathe. Stay looking down, press into the hands, straighten the elbows. Turn the left toes in. Step the right foot in to meet the front foot. Sit into your chair pose. Sit a little deeper into the heels, lift the arms. Grip with the toes all the way up and release. One more time into your chair. Forward fold. Right foot back, toes to the ground. Twist to the left. Unravel. Step back to upper push-up. Chaturanga, you can go down and up. You can go down again, all the way into your skydiver, lifting it up. Lowering down, hands under shoulders. Raising back up into upper push-up, then to downward dog, breathing. Right foot forward, turn the right toes out, down into your press up, down and up. Turn the right toes in, step the left foot to meet the front foot. Sit into your chair pose and immediately forward fold. Left foot steps back. Lower those left toes, twist to the right, maybe lift the left fingers. Lower all the way down, step back to upper push-up. Down into your press up and back up. All the way down to your press up and into your skydiver. Take your time with this. Lifting up and lowering down. Hands under shoulders. Squeeze those elbows in. Lift all the way back up. Downward dog. Raise the heels, bend the knees. Step the left foot up in between the hands. Turn the toes out. Down into your press up. Lift it up. Turn the left toes in. Right foot to meet the front foot. Sit into your chair pose. Breathe. Lift the upper arms, lift the thumbs a little higher. Good. Grip with the toes, lift all the way up. And release. Good, rotate those wrists. Interlock the fingers. Stretch out through the right and the left. Flick them out 5 times. Come to standing in Tadasana. Take 3 breaths in and out of the nostrils, right down to the belly. Allow the heart rate to recover. Feel the body loosening up now, ready and warmed up, ready to go into your HIIT all together, into your strength, and then back to the next yoga video, yoga postures, and then on to our Chandra. Well done.